Yeah, but you can make it work.
All right, big dogs. What
are we talking about?
What?
In the podcast.
Oh, whatever the fuck we want. I have a topic I want to get to. What up, big dogs? Welcome to Screen Surger Podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you check us out on Patreon. Support what we're doing. When you follow us on Patreon, it supports us because you give us money. And that makes us, you get more podcasts on there, and that allows us to make movies and all sorts of cool shit. We appreciate it. It's where the real fucking homies
Wait, when that
thrive.
we were talking about, did that person say they want to be the fourth Moore brother or the third?
I don't know, but
because there's already three.
I know. I had someone got to break it to him. I don't know. It may have been the fourth.
It had to. I hope it was the fourth.
Something like that, but people get it. Taco Bell sponsoring today's episode. What up, dogs? Fuck yeah. Done some cleaning out here in the studio. I read an article today. I kept it on my phone. I kept it on my phone because the camera looks lopsided. It's not, though.
It looks like it's filming over here.
It's filming both of us. By the way, I'm obsessed with American history. So it's funny because our mom said at one point, "Oh, it's just a phase," and like I lost my mind. She like I got word of it. She told our aunt or our cousin. She was like, "Oh," when they were like, "Why is Quinn so obsessed with American history?" And she was like, "Oh, it's just a phase."
Why would they ask that though? That's kind of
we were all just kids, and I lost my mind. I was crying hysterically. I was like, "It's not a fucking phase, Mom," and it's not a phase because I'm making a new movie about the American Revolution. It's not a phase.
It's not, but also, I mean, kids go through phases. But you had a palm tree phase.
I have special interests though. It's not really phases. Like the palm trees thing. I'm still obsessed with palm trees.
But all your special interests, they don't really
make sense.
That too. But I was going to say they don't go away. They just kind of like get put in the background of your.
Yeah, they're still there, all of them.
Yeah, just not on the front line.
There was some kid. There was the kid, the Meet His Murder kid in high school.
Oh my god!
And I remember hearing his lore. He was the kid who would walk around with
his lore.
Yeah, I'll tell you. He was the kid who would walk around with a shirt that says "Meet His Murder." He made his whole. He was obviously off.
Yeah, he had green hair.
Green hair.
We can't say his name.
Wore a shirt that says "Meet His Murder." Would like protest outside of the school. Crazy shit. That's just like
he used to harass butchers at the supermarket.
Bug is on me. Yeah.
I like meat.
But then I remember hearing his lore, and I was like, from some kid who went to elementary school with him, like, has he always been this way? And they're like, yeah, it started with dinosaurs in the first grade.
Fuck.
And somewhere around the second grade, it went to Lady Gaga, and then it went to
who said all this?
This was this kid Julian, who went to elementary school with him.
Julian. Wait, is that the kid down the street from him?
Yeah.
Oh, he knew him too?
Yeah, and he went to elementary school with him. So his special interest started as dinosaurs, then Lady Gaga. By the way, I guess we should have mentioned he was obsessed with veganism and Lady Gaga. Wait, is Lady Gaga vegan? We might be onto something.
Maybe.
Remember she did the meat dress thing?
Shit, maybe that's
what it was.
So those things are not in two different spectrums.
Yeah. A vegan.
Or maybe he became obsessed with veganism because
No, she's not.
She's not?
No, so I don't know what the fuck.
Okay,
so he's fucked up. No, so it's just.
But also, I mean, him being a dinosaur kid and then going into all that weird
no one could have seen that coming.
I was a dinosaur kid. I love dinosaurs.
And you turned out okay.
Yeah, dinosaur people turn out. I've heard
dinosaurs the gateway special interest.
It's a gateway. It's a gateway special interest into potentially weirder shit and down the rabbit hole. But also, I read something and said
kids into dinosaurs, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. Like I read something and said little kids like who are very into dinosaurs are like very gifted intellectually.
That's bullshit. That's someone coping hard who's like, my kid loves dinosaurs. He's a fucking genius.
It was something like that.
I'm pretty sure every kid loves dinosaurs.
What is that kid? I mean,
my kid picks his own ass. He's a genius. No, it's like a thing where it's like, you know, if crawling early is technically not like there's people be like, my kid was crawling at 3 months. He's a genius. That actually means you're less smart.
Really?
Apparently means you're not as smart.
But everyone thinks their own kid is like perfect.
Yeah. No, but apparently, crawling too soon are signs of like skipping steps and like actually that you're not as intellectual as you think you are. So they're like, my kid's a genius. Not a fucking genius. I got news for you.
So it's not like they're skipping grades. They more so they missed a grade.
No, it's like they're skipping them. Just they didn't take them and they're not.
Yeah, it's not like they're so advanced. It's that they just totally didn't do it.
Totally couldn't read what was on the door and walked right past it. That type of skip, not unintentional skipping. No, but I say this all about my special interest because
like my baby can read crap. Like,
oh yeah. 10 facts about Washington
and 1-year-old how to read.
10 facts about Washington and slavery. Despite having been a slaveholder for over 56 years, George Washington struggled with the institution of slavery, and I'm struggling reading. Holy shit. Sorry, my nose. Let me restart. 10 facts about Washington and slavery. Despite having been a slaveholder for over 56 years, George Washington struggled with the institution of slavery and wrote of his desire to end the practice at the end of his life, of course. Washington made the decision to free all of his enslaved people he owned in 1799.
After he got all the labor out of them.
No, upon his death. So Americans love to write history like, oh yeah, George Washington was this great guy. And listen, sure, but let's be real. He definitely, obviously he owned slaves, and I'm not sure he was like the greatest slave owner in the world, especially because blood released them upon his own death.
Only when he had no longer had a use for them.
And then, but
it's like, all right, you're done. You served your time with me. Why would I keep them anymore? I'm dying.
Yeah, and they're all probably dying too.
Yeah, and did he really do them a certain? Was he such a great person, or is it just like, it's somebody writing off their things in their will?
Yeah, like, it's like, nah, I'm gonna get rid of the lawn chairs in the back. No one needs those.
Yeah,
those slaves are old anyways.
Yeah, they're not really producing.
Because I remember I looked into this and I was like, well, George Washington, because I'm working on a project right now that's I don't want to talk about the details, I don't want to leak it, but it's about history, it's about the American Revolution, and George Washington and slaves are in it. And I'm like, did George Washington, like, what's going on with him in slavery? And I'm looking it up, and obviously he owned slaves, and he was a normal slave owner, which means he probably wasn't that great to them. I'm not trying to judge historical figures by today's standards, meaning like he needed to sit there and like, I don't expect him to be a nice person to his slaves, because the idea of owning people by modern standards is abuse, right? And it's fucked up. But the fact is, I read the comments and they're like, I choose to believe that he was kind to his slaves. All right, well, you choose to stick your head in your ass and just fucking avoid facts.
That's like you choose to stick your head in the sand.
I choose to be an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
I find that statement so stupid. I choose to believe. That's like, regardless of contradictory information, you choose to believe things that aren't real or have no basis in reality.
I mean, think about the whole thing. It's like,
the sky's blue, but I choose to believe that it's red.
Yeah, like first off, no. Why does it break your heart that you can't believe that our president was probably not, by today's standards, like the nicest guy, right? Maybe
because it's like he's been idolized in all of like elementary school teaching.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for what we're working on to fucking come out, because holy shit, no one's. It's just so. They're
never gonna view him.
They're never gonna. I don't know how it's gonna be received. I don't want to say anything about it, but like it's gonna maybe shake the world, because here in America, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, these are fucking heroes.
They are a big deal here.
How dare you say anything otherwise?
Do we have viewers in other countries?
I don't think so. Australia, yeah, actually.
Australia?
Some people.
Cool.
Yeah. No, but it's where it's like, I've never seen a piece of media that depicts them as anything other than just like saviors sent from God.
Yeah.
It's like they are people.
Yeah.
And they did have slaves, and Thomas Jefferson had a habit for getting his slaves pregnant.
Yeah. God, that's funny. That's like in Scary Movie too, and they're the once you go black, you never go back statue.
I did have a
with
bit
him and his slave offspring.
I had a bit in the movie that got cut where basically he was the idea was, I was playing around with the concepts. Basically, either his slave, he was going to be, oh, that's not my slave, that's my son. And then George is like, oh, what? And like, because the character George is, I don't want to get into it, but and he goes, oh, my wife ate a lot of chocolate when she was pregnant with him.
It's a little too corny.
But it's a little too corny, so I cut it.
I don't know.
It's how it started, but it wasn't funny, so I cut it, and
we left him in the oven too long.
The script outgrew the joke, right? It was just a placeholder. The other one I was playing with was maybe, the joke when like a baby pops out and it's black.
That's the joke.
Except that was gonna be the joke, but I was thinking then that would depict his wife cheating on him, which is also with a slave, which is also funny and kind of in the vein of humor, but it's a little too much to explain. It's not. It's like I would have to go.
No, but it's funnier also if it's him doing something strange. If it's just his wife just slept with a slave, like a black guy slave.
But how funny would that be? He gets cucked by his slave.
But
it wasn't that funny, and that's ultimately why I didn't put it in.
It's not that funny.
That's why I didn't put it in.
I'm not cracking up.
I'm not either. That's why I didn't go with it. But yeah, American history as a whole. I mean, I'll come up with like 20 scenes that are just not funny and cut them before I find something that is genuinely funny, or pieces of it. But I don't want to talk too much about that because that's about the most I'll say. But American history as a whole is really interesting. How
every time you say American history, I keep thinking American history.
American History X, yeah. No, but we rewrite it to kind of like fit a narrative.
Well, yeah, history is always written by the guy who wins.
I mean, it really is, and
maybe the Civil War really was the war of Northern aggression.
Well, I mean, actually, no, it legitimately was. The North are the ones who wanted to free the slaves and fuck with their lives, in the South. So, was it morally correct?
From their perspective, they're like, we're living fine. Why are you messing with us?
No, listen, obviously slavery is wrong. let's just come up soundbite. Quinn says war of northern aggression. No. But it's true because like the North was being aggressive towards their way of life. With that being said, their way of life was fucked up and retarded. It's also funny though because it's like everyone praises the North as the North. They were these altruistic people who wanted.
We were the good people with morality.
They decided that they were going to free the slaves. No, they decided they were going to free the slaves because they weren't needed anymore. Because we had the invention of cotton gin and the Industrial Revolution. And it's also funny that
why didn't the South have the machines?
What do you mean?
Like we didn't need slaves anymore because
we
cotton gin. Why didn't they have a machine to replace this?
No, because they relied on growing the crops, where the North relied on processing the crops.
Okay.
The North was the economy and the industry behind the farming.
Yeah.
They just grew the stuff and we didn't need it. So we were like, nah, fuck you guys. We're just gonna do it our way now.
Yeah, and then it's kind of
little unfair.
It takes on the narrative of we're just doing what's right for people. In reality, it's just this is business.
Yeah, it's taken on the narrative of like, oh well, this is Abraham Lincoln. Listen, I'm sure he was maybe saying like it's wrong, and a lot of people were, but also 10 years before the slaves were freed in the North, everyone in the North probably more or less had slaves, but they're all heroes in the history books. They're all nice guys. But if you lived 50 miles south, you're a bad guy because you kept your slave. Like it just doesn't. It's just funny how history like gets.
And don't we live in the most the area of the North that has had the most slaves?
Yeah, Long Island had the most slaves out of anywhere in the North. I mean, we have a lot of house slaves, but there's a slave cemetery outside of Stony Brook University.
They got their own cemetery?
Yeah, well, they wouldn't bury them with the white people. So yeah, they had a slave cemetery.
I never even thought about what they did with them.
There's one on Stony Brook campus. There's also there's a few of them in that area. There's also a Sylvester Manor out in
what is that?
Shelter Island. We've been there. Was the largest plantation in like the North. It doesn't look like one in the South, but
we've been to. I mean, I remember we've been to a plantation in the South just for a wedding.
Yeah. But, what do you think about wedding plantations?
Or like plantation weddings?
Yeah.
Probably some like strange, maybe like it was fun.
I mean, we would think it's weird, right? If we were removed from the situation, it wasn't just it's just a wedding. Like you really put perspective on it. Do you think it's like getting married in Auschwitz?
I was just thinking that. I'm like, let's go to somewhere where something horrible happened and let's go and make a party out of it.
The thing is, Auschwitz looks like shit. Plantations are
pristine looking.
Really nice looking.
Yeah.
Nice architecture and nice grounds. That's why it's like, listen, I'm sure that okay, you know what? Here's the thing. If Auschwitz looked like plantations, people would be getting married on them. That's just the truth.
This is a historical landmark here. But I mean, also a plantation, it kind of has from some people's perspective, they could say it has that old Southern charm to it.
Old Southern charm.
Oh yeah, it's like it's got.
When we were in the plantation, which was the venue for a wedding we went to, I shit you not, there's little charcoal statues of black people.
Yeah,
with the big red lips.
They had
and it was
all
just,
these
it was
little,
very. If you were a black person in there, I would feel uncomfortable.
You feel hard. You'd want to get out of there,
because it is fucking weird.
They had little cartoon characters with like black people depicted.
Just Confederate flags
everywhere, and little black guy action figures.
Yeah, no. So if I was black, I was white guy. And I was like, yeah, this is definitely actually weird.
And the only American flag I saw in the entire place was in a painting of some guy holding it, getting shot. In the head.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
By a Confederate soldier. It was a whole battlefield scene, and there's the Confederate flag, and then the guy with the American flag on the other side, and then the guy getting his brains blown out is the one with the American flag.
I mean, so they have a point when they say, "Why are you getting married on plantations?"
They're a little butthurt though. Those people, they don't realize they lost.
Oh, the South, yeah.
And Northern aggression or not, we still won.
The other thing is, at the plantation, I was looking into it because I'm a history buff, and first off, all the people working at the plantation are black. So they've gone from
now they're just getting paid for it.
All their descendants are just now getting paid minimum wage to work there, and they get to go home at night where they have to pay for their own bills and their own upkeep, as where if they were slaves 100, 200 years ago, basically the slave owner would have to take the cost of keeping them.
They would live in a barn.
Which would basically be similar to minimum wage. So in some ways, I think slavery hasn't changed.
A little better, but
well, no, in the South it can be like $12 an hour. No, you have your freedom as a person, but how free really are you? Well, think about it. The slave owners had to pay the cost of keeping you, and sure, you lived in a barn, but they had to pay your overhead and stuff. They had to pay for your existence, and you worked for free. Now they pay you barely enough to pay for your own existence, and you pretty much have no spending money, and you work the same job. Not only that, but the family that owned this plantation also owns like 300 fast food chains around it. Who do you think's working the fast food chains? It's the poorest of the poor. And in these areas in the Deep South, it's a lot of descendants of slaves, because I went to the Carl's Jr. that was owned by these people. And it was black people, and I'm sure their descendants.
I thought they were only in the West.
No. Way to derail my fucking history. No, that's In and Out.
Oh, Carl's Jr. and Hardy. But
yeah, so you think about that. Like the descendants of these people are now just working these fast food jobs owned by the same people who own the plantations that enslaved their ancestors.
Nothing's changed.
So has it really changed?
Yeah. But that's like old Southern money too. Like they started in the plantation times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
and now they're owning restaurants.
Yeah, it's like
employing the descendants of the slave owners are employing descendants of the slaves
for less than minimum wage or for minimum wage
for terrible money. And like
think about that for a second. Like that kind of puts in perspective.
It's almost like you're no better off than your ancestors, or maybe a little, maybe slightly better off.
They're not as better off as we like to paint them out to be in textbooks.
Yeah,
I think that applies to Americans as a whole, but definitely.
But they don't have to be. They don't have to stay in that kind of job. Just get a better job.
Do they have the education or the opportunities provided for them to do so?
Opportunities, I don't know, but the education you kind of have to go in.
Education's an opportunity,
Yeah, but I mean, either save enough money to pay for it, or somehow get a scholarship or something.
Or yeah, I mean, but it's definitely kind of made my head spin a little bit. I was like, well, and you can always up and I guess leave those places, but
that's what I'm saying. They can.
That's like systemic.
But also, they live poverty. They live in the cheapest parts of America anyway.
Yeah, it's systemic.
So
poverty.
where else do you go at that point? Well, another country.
Mexico,
yeah.
I mean, I guess you just up and leave and like thug it out. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow, this conversation got really dark. Because we're talking about slaves, of course, so.
Yeah, no more history, though. I'm bored of that.
I don't fucking like to talk about history. What else is there to talk about? Anything cool? You see anything good? See any good movies?
No.
What's the last thing I saw? Oh, Sheep Detective?
You saw The Sheep Detective. I don't want to see that.
I'm going to give some spoilers. So, obviously, Hugh Jackman, he's a sheep herder. He gets killed, blah, 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 blah. The end of the movie, the sheep was totally unrealistic.
Well, it's talking sheep.
Well, yes, but at the end of the movie, they take their paint and they open the paint, and they use their hooves to get blue and orange or whatever, and then they go into, or yellow and blue, and then when they walk into the police station, they mix the paint, and it turns into purple, or green. It turns to green. Then the cop touches it, and he goes, green paint, and then he like makes the connection needed to solve the case. How
did the sheep do that
the
on purpose?
Fuck are sheep gonna know that blue and yellow mixed to make purple? It took me to the 5th grade to learn that shit, and even then, I might be fucking it up right now because I don't know. So you tell me a sheep knows?
But also
bullshit.
Green,
I call bullshit on that.
You said green and orange?
Whatever the colors are.
But I think you have the colors wrong.
It's blue and yellow.
Yeah, blue and yellow makes green.
But they came in and they took their hooves and mixed the paint, and like then the detective found the paint and discovered that these two things mixed make that color, and that color was the hair dye in the back of the killer's head, and he's got dyed hair.
Hair dye. The killer had green hair.
No, he had bleached hair, and when he touched it when it was wet, it was green. So the guy with the dyed hair, it was just like a bit of a stretch at the end.
I'm kind of glad I didn't go to see this.
It was a fun, cute movie, but that's my issue with whodunit movies. It's like they plant some seed in the background, like because they got to.
So you can't leave it up to farm animals to solve a case.
They did. You gotta plant some seeds, so it's like in the back of the movie, like. You see some irrelevant shit happening, like a landscaper walk past for 2 seconds, and it's like, that's the guy who killed him. When you walked past, and they put it all together in the end as if there's
just like leaving little breadcrumbs.
Yeah, but too little sometimes. That's why I don't like that genre. It's kind of boring as fuck.
I don't know, like crime. I'm not into crime movies, or like, I love mystery movies, but not crime. I'm more like supernatural mystery.
I like this new genre of movies that I'm leading the charge on called
films?
Brain Rot.
Brain
Rot movies.
What movies are brain rot?
Leap Year's a brain rot.
Nah, it's like, actually, I mean, is Step Brothers a brain rot?
Sure, I'd say so.
I mean, I it's kind of fits the bill, but I'm thinking like,
it's an awesome fucking movie. But I'm saying brain rot isn't. It's just like. When
I think brain rot, I think like swiping on TikTok, like dumb short form content.
I'm thinking it's more of like just like absurdist, crazy funny. Like you rot your brain watching it. It's retarded, but great.
Like Wayans Brothers, like scary movie.
Yeah. Like I've taken a lot of. We grew up on memes, and I think our generation is now going to be like the most sick and twisted one when it comes to comedy.
Well, like dark humor is always the funniest kind.
Yo, in the movie, I at one point had in the script, it was like they were going to have a presentation where they should have like a highlight tape, but we already did some things like that, so I cut it. But they were going to show a tape of them before the movie, and in that tape, there was going to be footage of 9/11. like him playing basketball, him dribbling, him training, and then the planes hitting the World Trade Center. And then Brett turns to the little kid, Javier, and goes, "What movie's that from?" And Javier goes, "Home Alone 2, senor."
Wait, what? I don't get the. What movie is 9/11 from?
You know how in the beginning of Home Alone 2 they see the World Trade Centers?
No.
That's in that's in Home Alone 2.
Oh.
But the kid, and even if you don't know that, the fact that you're going to see a footage of 9/11 and the kid who made the whole track is going to be like it's from Home Alone is retarded and funny. People would like it, but I cut it for logistical reasons, not because I didn't want to make
and
the
how
joke.
do you? I mean, getting that footage.
That's the thing is, well, we could have animated, or we could have just like stole it off the internet or recreated it somehow.
No, it's probably better you cut that.
Why?
Because I didn't even get the joke.
You would. It's hard to explain the content of it. Just know that there was a part where I was going to put World Trade Centers blowing up in the movie.
I mean, most of the twisted kids on the internet will probably like it.
Yeah. Do I think that's off limits? I mean, I definitely crosses my mind, but I also think like there's a musical on Broadway called The Titanic on Ice or some shit like that.
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
is it on ice?
I don't know if it's on ice, but
because that's
like
an
the Titanic.
Wait a second,
because it's Celine Dion. I saw a commercial of it.
Titanic musical. Hold on a second.
Titanic.
If it's not Titanic on ice, they're missing an opportunity.
Oh, on ice? That's funny.
Titanic musical.
There'll
be a 9/11 musical one day.
Oh my god.
Okay, it's a Broadway musical, but what is it called?
Titanic.
The Titanic through the music of Celine Dion.
Yeah, Titanic. They spell it like French.
Titanic on ice.
I thought Celine Dion was like English. I didn't know she was French.
Oh my god, that's totally a missed opportunity.
Titanic on ice.
If there's any Broadway producers out there listening to this podcast, you need to make a show called Titanic on Ice. That would be fucking crazy.
There could be a whole series, and there could be like I don't know what's another thing that happened.
Or
9/11 musical? No.
No. What's on ice? My brain's thinking here. Is there some way to tie this into illegal immigrants?
Alligator Alcatraz.
Well, Salvadorians on ice, and it's just like an ice guy with a blade in his face. I don't know. How could you make that a thing?
I don't think that works at all.
But I do like the Titanic on ice. That's fucking brilliant. That's fucking genius.
Titanic.
I got to get into Broadway.
Yeah, I don't know why no one's ever done that. Titanic on ice, because it was on ice.
Holy shit. All right, big dogs, that's it for today's episode. Fuck yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to check us out on Patreon and follow us on social media.
Peace out.